What holds people back from moving to another state? Family. Family members stationed in one area will hold people back from moving to another state. I knew a friend who wanted to move to Florida. He was from New Jersey, and his wife didn't want to move. And he told his wife, look, I'm going down to Florida with or without you. And they went down there. Then after about a year or so down there, his wife said, look, I want to go back to New Jersey. That's where all my friends and family are, and I want to be close to my family members. And she basically told him then the same thing. She goes, look, I'm going back to New Jersey with or without you. And they came back up. For parents to leave the state or the area where their children are located is very challenging. A parent may want to move on with their life and move to a different area, but just the connection they share with their child, even if they don't see them that often, there's something there that prohibits them from moving. Me as a child, I mean, I have my mother in a certain area, and that kind of it always makes me mindful of, well, how long do I want to go away? Do I want to move to a different area? Because even though I see her every day, there's still a connection there that, you worry if you move too far away, you know what I mean? It's something that prohibits you. So then you face a mental challenge. If you have a dream, a vision, an inspiration to move, to go to a different state, to go to a different part of the country, to go to a different part of the world, at what point do you say, I have to live my life versus being willing to be away from your family member, whether it's a child, parent, cousin, aunt, sister, lover, whatever it is. That's a challenge. That's a real life challenge that many people face, is they want to move, but they have family in a certain area. And if they move away from them, there's a serious emotional barrier. And sometimes to fulfill your destiny, you have to push past that barrier. But I'm honestly sharing with you, I don't know if I would want to move to another state, but definitely in the winter, I would want to be down in a different state. I have some flexibility with work as far as working remotely to some extent, but some extent I have to be on site. But the other dynamic is that, I feel bad, I guess that's to say, emotionally being away, from not the area that my mom is at. As she gets older, that's a challenge that you face as a child. Now, I know my mom, she is a good woman. She would say, Sam, look, do what you want to do, live your life. So there's no guilt trip there as far as that. But there also is guilt trips with different people, which I experienced. And, they don't put it, people want you to be right next to you. But then when you're right next to them, no one's happy. And then you say to yourself, well, why am I even here if nobody's happy? So you're gonna face that balance, that separation anxiety, that when you leave them, then you feel like, oh my God, I should be next to them. And then when you're next to them, you say, why the hell am I here? Neither one of us are happy because neither one of us are living our destiny. So I want to be very honest with you. I don't have a clear answer for everyone because this is something that I still struggle with. And it's going to be an ongoing dynamic in my life as that part of my chapter plays out. But I at least want to share it. That's something that I think about often. How do you decide, when it's time that you truly just do what you need to do, and also by being responsible to your loved ones or family. I don't have that much family, so for me, it's not as big as issue. But I've seen many people struggle with that. And I will say that you need to live your life. But I will also say it's a tough decision. And I can't just tell you to do this, do that. But I would just say you have to consider those two things. That yes, when you leave them initially, you will feel separation anxiety when you separate from your family member or lover or, whoever. And you know what I mean? You're going to want to move, but they may be keeping you here emotionally. But then if you feel guilty when you move away, remember that when you're back together, if you aren't really happy and both of you are kind of like resentful, you're going to say to yourself, why am I still here? So what I would kind of say to myself is, move away if that's something you want to do, and just reconnect on a somewhat periodic basis. The challenging thing that you always face in your mind is, well, what if something happens when I go away, and then I'll kick myself in the ass for not being there with them. And I understand that. I mean, that's something to think about, and that certainly could happen. So again, I can't tell you what to do because I don't want to tell anyone what to do. I'm sharing different things that I face, you know what I mean, in life, and I've seen many other people face. Sometimes in life you're going to want to move to a different location, and the biggest challenge that you may face is not logistics, meaning it's not like physically can you do it and transport there. The biggest challenge may be emotional. Can you separate yourself from certain family members or friends that have kept you emotionally at a place and move on with your life? You have to decide that. And you have to ask yourself, when you are there, are you both fulfilling each other? Or when you're there, are you both just miserable? You need to live your life responsibly, and you need to do what you want. And then you need to realize that there's no guarantees and something can happen. But you can't live a life of guilt. If something happened in life, I mean, no matter what, all of us, I mean, anything can happen to any of us in life. You could be right next to somebody. So I want you to live responsibly. I want you to spend time with loved ones. I think quality time with loved ones is very, very important. That's a priority. And also it's a priority to live, what God has put inside you. You have to balance that for you, and you have to figure that out. It's not easy. All right. But I wanted to share on that subject, something that I think about at time to time, in my journey, and I've seen other people face it. So either way, good morning. It's going to be a good day. Stay positive, push forward, play your music, and don't let negativity stop you from making progress in your life. Never forget it. All right. Stay inspired.